No one in the village knew the source of Malam Musa's Suya, except for Joy. She watched as Musa brought out the body from his giant fridge, placed it on a table, and started cutting. She was terrified and moved backwards to run out of Musa's house, but a plate fell down, making a sound. Musa ran to see who just found out his secret, and it appeared to be his lover, Joy. In a town called Ajegunle lived peaceful and friendly people. The people were known for their undying zeal towards their various businesses. Various people came into the village to buy and sell, and since the people of Ajegunle were very friendly and welcoming, they welcomed everyone that came to buy and sell. Among the people that came to sell in Ajegunle is Malam Musa, a very gentle and easygoing man. He was so gentle, never talks much, except his marketing to his customers. The people of Ajegunle loved Malam Musa so much, and they loved the Suya more. Every time they passed a stall, they were welcomed by the aroma of sizzling beef that pulled people like hands to sugar. The people loved the suya so much. It was delicious, spicy, soft, and very addictive. The people knew there was one secret ingredient Malam Musa had to his suya, but they never guessed right. Malam Musa had so many competitors because of his suya. Ever since they came into the town several years ago, the people abandoned their old suya vendors and made him their favorite. The old suya vendors were so angry, but when they ate a suya, they knew why the people chose him over them. They tried all they could to know his secret recipe, but they never did. They were also bothered about the price of Malam Musa's suya. Apart from the fact that the suya was so sweet and soft, it was so cheap. It made the people so angry at the other suya vendors, calling them greedy and selfish. Thinking they hiked the price of their suya, they made Malam Musa their favorite. His suya was so cheap and delicious. The other suya vendors were confused. How is his own so cheap? How can he be selling so low? Doesn't he want to make any gain? They asked themselves, but they never got answers. Most suya vendors left the business because everyone were buying from Malam Musa. Coming to Ajegunle was the best decision Malam Musa has ever made, according to him. In the previous village he was in, he never made sales like he did in Ajegunle town. The people also liked the taste of his suya, but he hardly made any gain. But ever since he moved to Ajegunle town, his sales rise like never before. People from both far and near visited the village to eat the popular Malam Musa suya. His business grew so much, he started by selling with a table on the village streets. Soon he expanded. He upgraded to a mini shop. He had so many customers. They would line up even before the suya is ready, screaming, "Musa, my friend, na me first reach here, oh. Musa, I want plenty pepper, oh. Musa this, Musa that." The people shouted, begging to have a taste of his suya. Soon, Musa couldn't handle the business alone anymore. It was draining for him. He was working so hard. He thought long and hard and decided to break his one rule of not hiring someone. Musa did all of his suya business himself. So many people went to him begging for a job. Some even offered to be a social media manager to expand his business to the city, but Musa rejected their offer. He never listened to them, but it became so much for him to handle. He broke his rule and hired 3 people. They had to assist him in selling alone. They are not involved in the meat cutting, washing process. This kind of bothered his workers. Musa is meant to supervise them while they do most of the work, but instead, Musa was doing most of the work. He had 3 shops at different bus stops. Musa would cut, wash, and boil the meat in his house before taking it to his various shops. It was a lot of work for Musa, but he never complained. He was doing it happily. It was a lot of work for him. He went from bus stop to bus stop carrying his meat. His workers wondered why he was like that. It kind of slowed down the speed of the business because it took so much time for him to bring the meat. And when it gets finished, they have to wait for him to bring another batch of boiled meat to the shop to be used as suya. His workers decided to have a meeting with Malam Musa, and so one day they did. Oga, we love your work well well, and thank you say you give us this opportunity because we know say you no wan hire anybody before, but we feel say you suppose dey rest at this stage. We go take over, we go market go buy the meat, we go cook am, do everything for here, so you no go dey bother yourself, and like that the business go dey fast well well. We no go get any delay, and our customers no go dey complain say we slow again. My dear workers, Malam Musa replied, I thank una well well for una hard work, but make una no worry. I go take care of am. Una no fit sabi my secret recipe. If I tell una say make una dey cook the meat before roasting, you people won't get the way I cook my suya. Or do you want my customers to run away from me? Ah, no oga o, they replied. Everything wey we dey say na for the good of the business. And yet again, Musa didn't listen to his workers. But one stubborn worker didn't listen to him too. Dara was bent on following Musa to the market to buy the meat and cook it with him. And so one day, he woke up so early and headed to Malam Musa's house, hoping to follow him to the market. But his plan didn't work out because when he got to Malam Musa's house, he heard him cutting the meat already. Dara was pained. Ouch! He already went to the market, Dara said. He opened his door and met Malam Musa's door opened. Musa was cutting the meat. Oga Musa, what time do you even wake up? Dara asked, hoping to surprise him with his dedication to work and to get into Malam Musa's good books. But instead of that, he saw the other side of Malam Musa that no one has ever seen. Malam Musa was shocked to see Dara in his house. He forgot to lock the door. Dara saw the fear in his eyes and was confused. Malam Musa screamed at Dara, you good for nothing boy. What are you doing in my house? Who gave you the permission to come into my house like this, Dara? Get out of my house and never return. And yes, you are fired. I don't ever want to see you in my shops. How dare he come to my house and ask me what time I wake up? Dara was shocked. He was confused. What did I do wrong? He asked himself. He was only looking out for the good of the Suya business, but he got fired instead. Dara was heartbroken. Weeks later, he got a job in another Suya spot, the second best Suya spot in the village. Bashiru, the CEO of the second best Suya spot in the village, was surprised as to why Musa fired Dara like that. After Dara told him the story of how he was fired, Bashiru started wondering, something is wrong with Musa. His ways are not clean. He has known this for a very long time, but had no proof. Dara's encounter with him proved that something is definitely wrong. I will get to the bottom of this, Bashiru said, consoling Dara. It was the chief's birthday. The people dressed in their favorite attire and headed to the palace to celebrate. They danced, ate, and listened to many stories told by the chief. The chief hired Musa as a Suya man that day. So many people came to the town because of the chief's birthday. On his birthday, he gives out free food and gifts. They were all looking forward to eating Musa Suya, especially when it's free. Musa was totally drained that day. He worked so hard without rest. After he delivered the boiled meat to his workers, he left the chief's party and went home to rest. Musa was fast asleep when he started hearing, he buys humans, he buys humans. Is that why Suya is so cheap? What sort of teeth is that? It looks like a human teeth. He thought he was dreaming until he heard a very loud bang on his door. He opened and saw so many villagers throwing sand at him. Malam Musa, tell us the truth. Whose teeth is that? Who did you buy? He became scared and confused as well. The people carried him and took him to the chief's palace. Malam Musa, ever since you came into this town, we've welcomed you and loved you like you are one of our own. Something happened while you were not here. We saw a teeth inside the suya you make. It looks like a human teeth. It doesn't look like that of an animal. So what do you have to say about this? The chief asked. My chief, I love this town like it's my own, and I'll never do such a thing, Malam Musa said, almost crying. This might be a prank or a setup by one of my competitors. As you all know that I have so many enemies in this town. Because of my business, they might have done this, my chief, Musa said, crying. The people fell for his cries and asked him for forgiveness because everyone knows how other Suya sellers were beefing Malam Musa, and just like that, he was free again. He continued his business and was more careful this time. Everyone were convinced that Musa had nothing to do with the third incident. It was a setup, but Bashiru never believed it. A year after the third incident, Musa was on his way to his shop when he sighted a very beautiful lady, a diva, the most beautiful lady he has ever seen. It was love at first sight. The lady Joy laughed at Musa. His mouth was opened and he kept staring at her. Are you going to ask for my number or not? Joy asked Musa. Yes, please. Can you give me your contact? She gave it to him and she smiled, saying, You owe me a lot of Suya, Musa. Do you know me? Musa asked excitedly. Yes, I do. You are the most famous Suya seller in this town. So why won't I know you? Musa smiled, watching her leave. That was the beginning of Musa's love story. He loved Joy so much and did everything to make her his. Joy eventually agreed to be his girlfriend, and they started moving around together as a couple. News spread round about Malam Musa's love story. The people were happy for him. It was very genuine on Musa's part, but Joy's love wasn't. And no one knew because she wore a love mask. She was always pretending to be in love with Musa. And Musa did everything for Joy. He bought her so many luxurious gifts. When he met Joy, her dress sense was so bad, but Musa changed her life around. He gave her so much money even if she didn't ask for it. He made Joy a secretary. He was madly in love with her. Some people were even jealous of their love story, as Musa's public display of affection was too much. Joy was happy to be with Musa, but they always argue on the reason why Musa never invites her to his house. My house smells like rotten meat, Joy. I can't let you come there, Musa would always say. But Joy would always respond saying, I don't care about that. Don't worry, okay? Very soon I'll buy a house in your name and then we can spend so much time there together. Just the two of us, okay? That was his excuse all the time. Joy was used to it. One day, Joy decided to take action. She dressed up and headed to Musa's house. She got there and brought out the key she had stolen from him. She carefully opened the door and stood in a corner peeping. She saw Musa open his giant fridge and bring out a human arm and leg. Inside the fridge were different heads of both men and women. Joy was shocked. She had prayed so hard for the rumor not to be true. During this mission of getting to know Musa, making him fall in love with her, and getting into his house, she had somehow fell in love with him. She started crying, regretting why she agreed to take up the mission. She moved back and something fell down, making a sound. Musa ran towards that direction and saw that the one who just caught him is his lover. His eyes became red instantly. He couldn't move. He stood still. Why did you do it? Joy managed to say with tears rolling down her eyes. He had no answer. Joy ran out of the house to Bashiru's house, where she revealed everything she saw in tears. Bashiru immediately went to Musa's house with his men. They saw different human heads inside his fridge, different eyes and skeleton. They took Musa to the chief's palace. He confessed to have been using human meat as suya. He lured homeless women, men and kids into his house, promising to give them free food and shelter. The old villagers were shocked. They've been eating human meat all along. They tried vomiting, but how? They've been eating the suya for so many years now. Musa was arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment. Joy cried so much. She went for a secret mission, but she fell in love instead. And ever since that day, Suya was banned in the town of Ajegunle. The end. Be careful of where you buy your suya. Sorry guys, this is it about this story. Please tell me your experiences with suya and stuff. It's not only suya, but food that you bought outside and how it went. Like rumors about food. Like some people, they'll say they bought food from a ghost. Now this one, he was using humans as suya. So let me know what you feel about the story in the comment section. Please do not forget to like this video. Support us by dropping a comment in the comment section, and as usual, I'll reply because I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you for watching my videos, for constantly replying and watching and referring, sharing to people here, because I believe you guys are doing that. So thank you so much, and see you guys on my next story. Thank you. Bye. I love you all.